Well, hello there, motherfuckers, and this might not come as any surprise, but I figured I'd make a video on it anyway. SmackDown 1000 is going to be fucking horrible. We already know that it's going to be bad. It's not going to be good. Rey Mysterio will be returning for SmackDown 1000. They've got Evolution planned as well, which is a little bit curious why. I thought about this, and I didn't really mention it before, but wasn't Evolution on Raw? Okay, when Evolution was, in its first run, we're not talking about Evolution when they returned in 2014 to face the Shield. We're talking about the original iteration of them. That was on the Raw brand during the first brand extension. So, they weren't on Raw 25, but they're going to be on, because, DX was there, and so you couldn't really have Evolution, and DX would be a little bit weird. Triple H would have to pick one faction that he was a part of. So, instead, what are they doing? They're going to put them on SmackDown instead when they weren't even on SmackDown. They don't have any history on SmackDown other than I think they might have appeared a few times building up for that match. I can't even remember. But that's not exactly like one of the most memorable things of all time anyway, so why would you put them on there? So right off the bat, that's like the biggest thing that they have. So, this means that Batista is going to be back. I think he is, because they're kind of just saying Evolution as a whole. So I guess that would mean that would be everybody. So they're all coming back. You got Rey Mysterio. I think Edge is going to be on there. There's not going to be any Rock. There's not going to be any Stone Cold Steve Austin. Eddie Guerrero is not alive anymore. Obviously no Chris Benoit. Who else do you have that was on SmackDown? Brock Lesnar, who was, the champion throughout 2003. He's not going to be on there because he's on the Raw brand. Kurt Angle is not going to be on there because he's on vacation. He returned on Raw as the Conquistador, but he's the Raw general manager, so he's not going to be on there, obviously. So you see the brand extension just fucking fucked up the whole entire SmackDown 1000. And they don't have anything really planned. The only thing that they barely even advertised it on this last SmackDown. They didn't even advertise the 1000th episode. This is going to be like, at least they built up Raw 25 a little bit. And that's also the other thing that I have to say. If Raw 25 sucked as hard as it did, and boy oh boy did it suck, then you know that SmackDown 1000 is not going to be good. Despite what people say, oh, SmackDown is so much better than Raw, I still don't know what people are talking about when they say that. I don't care. Raw always, to me, feels like it's more important. Even though they don't do anything important on there, it always just feels a bit more important. It always feels more like the flagship show. And as I've always explained over the years, it never used to be that way. When SmackDown debuted, sometimes SmackDown would get better numbers than Raw. I remember when SmackDown beat must-see TV. I remember when more people watched SmackDown than Friends. SmackDown was more over than Friends, which was one of the most popular sitcoms of all time. I mean, The Rock told Chandler to go fuck himself, and SmackDown was huge. That's how big it was. More people wanted to watch wrestling than rolling around in their fucking underwear than watch popular shows on TV. That's how over WWE was at one point. So, that's what SmackDown should be celebrating. The only problem is we've had like over a decade of SmackDown just sucking horribly. It's been a tremendously bad show. You've recently, I mean, just look at this past year of how SmackDown's been. This AJ Styles title reign. And WWE had the nerve to come out with a top 5 list, and I understand that they're trying to put over their current stars, but they put AJ Styles at number 3. At number 3. A list also that didn't feature Kurt Angle or Brock Lesnar as well. You know, they had Eddie Guerrero on there, so, you know, that was good. That was well-deserved. But it was one of the most laughable lists I've ever seen in my whole fucking life. I mean, SmackDown. You know, you think of all stars that have been on SmackDown over the years. I mentioned Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, Stone Cold. The Rock is at number 1. I mean, because it's his show, so at least they did that. But AJ Styles, really? At number 3? So you already see, like, where they're going with this. How much do you want to bet that SmackDown 1000 is going to feel like your average SmackDown? Evolution will maybe come out at the beginning of the show, cut a little promo, whatever, talk about SmackDown history and everything. And this is going to seem really weird. Because, why does this seem weird? Well, let's think about this for a minute. So, didn't I just mention that DX, you know, was at Raw 25? Well, DX also returned again. I mean, how many returns has DX... Okay, let's recount the DX returns. Can we take a brief detour here for a moment? Because, you know, we got to rant about this as well. Okay, so DX started off in 1997. Shawn Michaels left the group due to injuries. Triple H started leading it. Then DX kind of broke up. Then DX returned at the end of 1999 for a heel DX. Then DX returned momentarily, you know, sort of like a, you know, a false return in 2002 when Triple H fooled Shawn Michaels, and that led to their SummerSlam match. We wouldn't see a real DX reunion until 2006. Then Triple H ended up getting injured, and then DX made another return in 2009, and then Shawn Michaels got retired soon after that, and we didn't see DX again until a few years later. At Raw 1000, then they returned at Raw 25, and then, you know, well, before that, you know, you had the little Evolution, you know, return against the Shield that I mentioned, and you know, now DX reformed on Raw, and now Evolution is going to be on SmackDown a week later after the Evolution, after the DX return. So, you know, DX is returning because of the Saudis. The Saudis are offering them so much money that they're getting all these big stars to come back. You know, they want you know, you could imagine we want the DX. Bring the DX back to us. Bring the DX. You know, bring the DX to us. We need the DX. Bring us the DX. Bring it before the Saudi king. Bring the DX to us. So we got the DX. They're back. They're here. The king will be pleased. You know, the imams will be dancing. Everyone's gonna be doing the jig because DX is back. But you know, you announced Evolution. You announced that Evolution was going to be returning. This is so confusing because they got a pay-per-view called Evolution, but there's all women on it, and the women aren't going to be on the Saudi show. Oh my goodness, what a fucking mess! Like, so you know, you have one faction returning, but one guy that's already a part of it. He's booked for DX, but he's gonna be bringing back his other faction. Hey, like, I mean, you know, you see what this does to the one's mentality. You know, they're confusing the shit out of us. But this is how I think it's going to go at Raw 1000. I mean, Raw 1000. That already happened. SmackDown 1000. They're going to have, you know, like a normal Raw. We're probably going to get our, you know, AJ Styles. I respect you, Daniel Bryan. promo. Shelton Benjamin, not a bench warmer. You know, they'll probably New Day. Maybe New Day will interact or something like that. I mean, maybe Evolution will become the promo, and then New Day comes out with their fucking pancakes, and you know, maybe Batista will eat a pancake, and you know, Batista bombs. Why do I have a strong feeling in my mind that that's probably what is going to happen? Like, you know, because like Evolution's kind of like a heel faction. Can you guys kind of see where I'm coming from on that? That they, you know, like New Day will come out, and it's like they're gonna start to like annoy Evolution. I just see it like that's something that they might think of doing, because you know, when you've been watching the product as long as me, you kind of see how their minds work, and that could be like entertaining to a point. But I would think that Evolution would just beat the shit out of New Day. But you know that you're gonna want to try to get an opportunity of having somebody from the present interact with Evolution, a faction of the past. So you've got a faction, or maybe the Bar will come out. I know that it's gonna be one tag team or something like that that's going to try to, you know, come out and interrupt the promo of Evolution. But, you know, well, Rey Mysterio's going to be there. Is Mysterio going to have a match or not? I don't know. But, you know, I see it like this show is just going to be a total bomb. Because Raw 25 bombed so hard, I feel like, why would SmackDown 1000 be any different? They you know, it's like, they barely even promoted this. So you see, it's like, you already know that SmackDown's the inferior show. Because Raw 25, they were like, oh shit, you gotta watch this. And I understand that they rewrote most of Raw 25, and it was also due to like Enzo. But, you know, Enzo was just one part of a 3-hour show. So, you know, I don't know how much of it really could have changed. It was going to suck regardless. And so SmackDown 1000, you already know it's just going to, you know, it's going to be 2 hours, so it'll probably suck on a shorter basis. But you know that they're not going to really have all that much planned. And everything was like at the last minute, the last month and everything. Like Raw 25, you knew that they were going to have all these stars. It still sucked anyway. And, you know, they already ruined kind of like the nostalgia trip already, because they already had The Undertaker. And that's the other thing. Isn't like the Undertaker was on SmackDown for most of the brand extension, right? And I don't even think he's on that top 5 list. I might have that wrong, but The Undertaker, I mean, he was an integral part of SmackDown for so long, and he's not even going to be on the show. Raw 1000, everybody. I mean, there's your fucking show right there. It's going to be abysmal. It's not going to be good. It doesn't it suck when it's like, this should be something that we're looking forward to. Oh, shit, this is historic. You know, they've also completely whored out the term historic. So when something happens that is historic, we're not going to... I mean, it is amazing that they've made it to 1,000 episodes. And we should be super excited for this. We should be fucking jumping out of our seats. Yeah! 1,000 episodes of SmackDown, it's going to be awesome. But we all know that it's going to suck hard. And that's just depressing. I mean, really, you sit back and you think, like, this could be a really good show if they gave a shit. But, I mean, it's like, guys, we already know how this is going. It's like, all they're concerned about now is building up their brand, and not through quality like they used to, where it was a brand name where you're like the WWF. That right there, that's awesome. They got, you know, a lot going on. I can't wait for Raw and SmackDown every week. What's going to happen next? Now it's like, oh, that show sucks, but they're making a lot of money because they're whoring themselves out to the Saudis. And bring us the DX! Bring us the DX! We want the DX! You know, and it's, you know, it's all about the money now. The same thing with Australia. Well, mate, just give us a lot of money. It doesn't matter how much the show sucks! I mean, honestly, you know, it's all about money now. They don't care about the ratings, whatever it is. They're just, you know, they just want to make as much money as possible. It doesn't matter how much they whore themselves out. You know, it never was like that about that. How come? It's like, I don't understand. Why can't they just make money by having a good show and having high ratings? Look how global we are. Hey! Oh, you're so global. Oh, man, you're so global. I love you. You're so global. Oh, 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 you're so global. Oh, my God, you're so amazing because you're so global. Never mind that your show sucks. You're so global. I love your globalness. Oh, I mean, come on. I don't give a shit if you're global. I don't care if you know, what you do, how much money you're making. If your show sucks, it sucks! I mean, the thing is, like, no one's watching the show. And it doesn't matter how much money it is. They lose as much money as they make because they're just... their attendance is down. They only have good attendance when they do these international shows because they barely go there. So, you know, there you go. I'm just saying, why can't they just be focused on having a good show? Why does it have to be about, you know, they used to make a lot of money. I mean, think about this, guys. They used to have WrestleManias in front of 15,000 people, and they were at their peak of money. They were grossing more than ever. Their profits, you know, they were making more than they were losing. You know, so, but it's like all these WWE defenders, they'll always quickly, oh, they're making a lot of money though, but they're not doing the best they ever did. So I don't understand what the argument is. It's like, oh God, you know, this is why they don't try to improve, and it doesn't matter even if everybody knew that, you know, they're not doing as well as they are. You know, it's all about let's be accepted. They want to build up the brand name and everything. They want to obviously sell it. They've been selling shares. You know, if you look into this, you know, they are trying to get sold and everything. I think they want to kind of, you know, hoard themselves out to a big name. Bin Hameen had said it on the recent Vince Russo podcast. What if, like, Disney bought them? You know, like Vince McMahon wants to get into the XFL. Like, he doesn't give a shit about the WWE. Just make a bunch of money and then, you know, build up the brand name and then sell that shit to a third party that, you know, like a big conglomerate like Disney. It's not that far-fetched. It might sound a little bit weird, but the way how things are now, like Marvel and shit, look at that. Look how big that brand name is. They bought that shit up like nothing. Lucasfilms bought that shit up like it was nothing. Buying up all these properties. You know, it's like everything's getting condensed and everything. I mean, look at it. You got all these big, you know, millionaires buying up things. You know, Jeff Bezos buying up groceries, newspapers. He's got the #1, you know, shopping website, Amazon. So, like, these ideas are not so far-fetched in 2018 as they might have been back in 1998. So, you know, you kind of see how things are going. So, but, you know, thing is, they're never going to be accepted like they think they're going to be accepted. WWE is always going to be a novelty act. You know how it is, like, right now. It was going to be a big thing when they didn't care about, you know, I don't know, maybe it just, that was a certain time. People are super sensitive now. People have changed. You don't know how things would be even if they still continued the same path of doing Crash TV and Attitude Era and Ruthless Aggression style antics, and it was TV 14. You know, we don't know how people would react to the product. I think that would be a lot more successful, but, you know, you never know with the current climate. So, anyway, guys, there you go. It's going to suck hard. Raw 1000. I keep saying Raw 1000. That happened in 2012. SmackDown 1000 is going to suck. Thank you for watching, guys. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Please make sure, if you've been a subscriber for a while, that you are still subscribed. Click the bell so you get all the notifications when I post all my new videos. And check out the other videos I have posted here. You might enjoy them. Anyway, guys, this has been your YWC champ, and I'm signing out.